Welcome back to Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a GW Panther, GW Panther. It's the Tier 7 German SPG, and we're on the south spawn of Lakeville. And the name of the commander is laughinkitti. Now, the GW Panther has a 15cm howitzer built on a Panther chassis. It actually was never produced. They only produced models and did the design work. They never actually put this tank into production, and there's a reason for that, is that they needed Panther hulls for tanks, not for Arty. So they made do with the Hummels, and instead they shelved this design. Well, it looks like laughinkitti's going to go off to the west side of the map and shoot down the valley at the enemy. Now, the GW Panther is one of the few Arty that actually has a turret. It can only swivel certain directions, but it still increases the field of fire for the Arty. And he's ready to shoot. Excuse me. It also has the nickname Dracula because the capes at the side, the panels at the side, make it look like the cape of the Vampire Knight, the Count. And he gets a nice hit there on the Waffenträger auf Panzer IV. 288 hit points off that one. And again, that's a very lightly armoured vehicle. The GW Panther itself is fairly lightly armoured. You don't really want to get hit if you can help it. An FV4202 was seen there, a Standard B and an Eagle 7. Here's the Standard B. Comes up to the ridgeline and takes a big hit. 298 hit points there. You can't be too happy about that. And what laughinkitti's doing right now is hugging the rock. The rock will protect him from any incoming shells. He's expecting that the enemy Arty might try to get him. So what he's doing is he's hiding behind the rock in between shots, so that if the enemy does try, he's not going to get any joy out of it. Now, the 15cm shells have got an alpha damage of 680 hit points, fires at the Waffenträger, doesn't get any damage that time. So 680 alpha, but they've only got 39mm of penetration. There's two guns for this particular Arty. The first one, the 15cm SFH, which is the heavy artillery, the heavy howitzer, has it's the L29, so it's 29.5 calibers long, and the other one is the 43. That's 43 calibers long. And he gets 111 hit points there again off the Waffenträger. It looks to me like the Patriot has moved off to one side to spot on the enemy, hiding behind the rock. Yep, there he is. And looks like their Arty is more interested in hitting them, because they all suddenly got some stun. So I think he's going to try and put a round into that FV4202, and he got a hit! Because the shell went in, there was no explosion, so we know that he hit the FV4202. We've got an SU-101 precariously perched there on top of that rock. The Patriot's moved over to the other side of the pass, and the reason for that is he wants to get shots on that Eagle 7 or the T29. And he can't really do it from the other side. And laughinkitti's still hiding behind the rock, but he was seen. He needs to avoid any incoming Arty shell. Now, I suspect the reason he was seen was that Eagle 7 is poking up. He's moving up behind the rock to get behind the bush and then look down the valley. Now, he could have had a quick look there for Arty. Our team does appear to be doing rather well in the city. He fires around in there with no effect. There's only one enemy left in the city, and he's just been killed, the Strib. And now they have the town, so they'll start moving on the enemy cap area soon. T26E4 super Pershing, and he's just about there. Round out, and it lands just in front of him. And again, laughinkitti hugs the rock. Okay, he pulls back. There's the Eagle 7. Not sure he can get a shot into that from this angle. He needs to be further over to the right in order to get a good angle on that Eagle 7. The rock face is in the way, you see. You can see where the red line starts. That's where the shell would impact. He's lifted the aim just slightly. Now the aim is on the Eagle 7, but the shell still lands short. And that may have been RNG. A lot about Arty play is about patience to perfect the aim so that you can get the shell to go where you want it to go. A lot of tank drivers actually do have trouble trying to aim with Arty, which is why they don't get good results. And you can see here, Laughing Kitty is adjusting the aim all the time to see where he can get the red line away and get the red line onto the target. Because once you can see that there's green line up until the tank, and then you know that the tank's in the way of the shell. Again, he's got the aim just right there. Fires the round in. Oh, it looks like he hit the clip face again. And once again, Laughing Kitty goes behind the rock face. He really needs to be further over to the right, behind the rock that's actually behind him, in order to get better shots on the Eagle 7. But he's going for the Super Pershing. And he got a direct hit then. Now the reload speed, you can actually get 2.21 rounds per minute. The reload speed's about 22-23 seconds per shot. But it's what you'd expect at tier 7. Going for the Eagle 7. And he gets a hit this time. That one worked. 263. He came back slightly to the right and he managed to get a better shot on the Eagle 7, who's now stunned. Now, it's a little trick you might see here is that every time Laughing Kitty extends his aim, he actually scrolls it out from when he first looks, and he gets a good hit there on the Waffenträger. 307, and the Waffenträger's gone down. Now, instead of scrolling out the aim, what you can do is you just hold down your control key, move the cursor over to the minimap, and click with the right-hand mouse button on the part of the minimap you need to shoot at, and it will appear straight away. He fires at the S51 and 226 hit points of damage. The S51 is actually taken out by our SU-101, and all but one of the tanks that are attacking the town have actually been killed. The Oni is the only one left out of the attack force. Most of the others have been wiped out. We've got a T-95 going up the lake road though, and that round stuns the Eagle. The big worry though is that the SU-101 is the only tank that is actually guarding the valley at the moment, and if he goes down, and he has just been hit by Arty, then we're next. And so Laughing Kitty's moving over to the right side, trying to get a better shot on that Super Pershing. There's a T-29 behind that rock down there, probably the RT2. There's two RT on the enemy team, an M53, M55 and an M40. Oh, we just lost the SU-101. He was taken out by the M40. And that means that the enemy is more than likely going to be coming towards our cap now. And that means that Laughing Kitty's probably going to have to reposition. He fired a round in, estimating where the enemy tank would be when he moved forward. It was a blind shot, but it was a calculated shot. Now he's moving off to the right-hand side, because what he's going to do now, I think, is he's going to defend the cap, try and go into a kind of hold-down position with only the actual turret showing of the vehicle, and shotgun any of the enemy tanks that try to make it into the cap area. There's a fallback position that you can actually go to directly behind the one he's actually in at the moment, and the FB207 has taken up position behind that fallback position, so basically he's got somebody covering his back. The T-95 is still up the north end of the lake road, and the Oni is still in the town, and he's been joined by the other Arty, which is the M53, M55, and he's got -1 against his name, so I suspect that he actually damaged one of our own team. Now we're waiting for one of the enemies to come south, probably be the T26E4. Oh, it's the SU-152 instead, and we have been spotted. Now that SU-152 is not going to be too happy about receiving a 15cm shell. After all, he does know what they can do, because he's actually carrying a 152mm gun howitzer as his main armament. I think he'll stay behind that rock for the meanwhile and wait for support. Yep, there's the support. T26E4's turned up and he spotted us as well. And we're manually aiming, fires a round in. Unfortunately, it goes over the top of them, explodes behind, and he's now having to go to the fallback position behind the next rock on, because he's got such a long reload. Ouch, that hurt. The T26E4 hit him with an HE round. 125 hit points. He pulls forward, he's almost loaded. Go for the shotgun. Yes! And that one worked. 183 hit points, but it certainly damaged the T26, and he's pulling back. And here's the SU-152, auto-aimed, pulls forward, almost loaded. The SU-152 could have shot there, but he pulled back when he saw two Arty facing him, not one. Go for the T26, manually aim, auto-aim, and yes, gets him. 131 hit points. This is a really good defense here. And the SU-152 is coming up to try and come around the corner, but now we've got the support of the Oni, who's come in from the town. The T-95 is making a move on the T-29, and the enemy has been killed. The FV-207 took out the SU-152, and now we've just got the enemy M40, M43, and we're trying to get a solution. But while we were doing that, our Oni kills the M40, M43, which only leaves the T-29 at the north end of the map as the last remaining enemy. And Laughing Kitty's trying to get into position as quickly as he can so he can support the T-95 and fire at the enemy. The M953-55 is also shooting at the T-29, and he's killed him. So that's game over. They've won. So pretty exciting at the end of that battle, and it's an ace tanker for Laughing Kitty in the GW Panther. In fact, that was his first ace tanker. When it gets that symbol underneath the ace tanker, it means it was your first one. Otherwise, it would just have the whole laurel all the way around. So congratulations, Laughing Kitty, for your first ace in the GW Panther. He also managed to pick up a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 16, and a win 8 for the battle of 3719. So let's have a look at the team scores, see how we got on. Well, there you go. He didn't get the highest damage in the battle. That actually went to the standard B on the enemy team, 2,915 hit points, but he did get the highest amount of damage on his own team, 2,815 hit points. Next high scorer was the Oni, 2,557, and then the SU-101, who managed to get 2,489. When it came to kills, it was the SU-101 who managed to get the highest amount. He managed to get 4 kills. The Oni got 3. The M53-55 on the enemy team also got 3. And Laughing Kitty only managed to get 1 kill during the battle, but he certainly did a lot of damage. And when you look at base XP, you can see that Laughing Kitty is the highest, 1,194. Then came the Oni with 1032 and the SU-101 with 953. He fired 18 rounds during the battle. He got 10 direct hits, 10 penetration, 5 splash. Damage of 2,815 hit points, of which 2,501 were at more than 300 meters. He received 1 hit from the enemy, 1 penetration, that was from the Super Pershing. He damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 1. He also caused damage assistance of 180 hit points and stun assistance of 752 hit points of 14 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 48,522 credits, and after ammunition resupply and repair, he actually had 26,966 credits left over. He received 1,791 XP times 2 for the first victory, took away 3,582 experience points altogether. So a pretty effective round there. An ace tanker, in large part because he did get a lot of damage as well as stun damage as well. So congratulations, Laughing Kitty, on your first ace tanker in this Arty. If you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.